Welcome to Classic Books Recaps, where the greatest stories ever written are brought back to life in minutes. Whether you're revisiting a favorite or discovering a new classic, you've come to the right place. Remember to hit subscribe and join us on a journey through the greatest novels ever written. Now, let's dive into today's story. The Miserable Ones by Victor Hugo. Today, we're stepping into one of the greatest novels ever written, The Miserable Ones by Victor Hugo. First published in 1862, this story isn't just about a single character, but about love, justice, poverty, redemption, and the unending fight for dignity in a harsh world. At its heart is Jean Valjean, a man who goes from a hardened convict to a figure of compassion and sacrifice. Around him, Hugo weaves together a tapestry of unforgettable characters: Cosette, Fantine, Javert, Marius, and through their stories, he shows us the pain and hope of 19th century France. Let's journey through this masterpiece together. Our story begins with Jean Valjean, a man released from prison after serving 19 years. His crime? Stealing a loaf of bread to feed his starving family, and then trying to escape multiple times. When he is finally freed, he's branded as a dangerous ex-convict, and society shuts its doors on him. Hungry and desperate, Valjean is taken in by a kind bishop, Bishop Myriel. Instead of condemning him when Valjean steals his silver, the bishop forgives him and gives him even more, telling him to use the silver to become an honest man. This act of mercy transforms Valjean's soul. He decides to start anew, to live a life of goodness and redemption. Years later, Valjean has rebuilt his life under a new name. He becomes a successful factory owner and even a mayor, respected for his generosity. But tragedy soon enters in the form of a young woman named Fantine. Fantine, abandoned by her lover, is forced to provide for her little daughter Cosette. She works at Valjean's factory but is fired unjustly, and her life spirals downward. She sells her belongings, her hair, even her teeth, and eventually becomes a prostitute just to send money for Cosette's care. When Valjean learns of her suffering, he is deeply moved. He promises the dying Fantine that he will care for Cosette as if she were his own child. Standing in Valjean's way is Inspector Javert, a man devoted to the law with an almost fanatical sense of duty. Javert once knew Valjean as a prisoner, and when suspicions rise about the mayor's true identity, Javert begins hunting him relentlessly. When Valjean finally reveals who he is in order to save another man wrongly accused of being him, Javert vows to capture him. This sets the stage for one of the novel's central conflicts: Valjean's quest for redemption versus Javert's obsession with justice. After Fantine's death, Valjean keeps his promise. Cosette, Fantine's little girl, has been living in misery with the cruel innkeepers, the Thénardiers, who exploit and abuse her. Valjean rescues Cosette, taking her away from that life of suffering. From then on, Cosette becomes Valjean's whole world. They live a quiet life together, always in hiding, always with Javert not far behind. The relationship between Valjean and Cosette is one of the most touching parts of the story. A man who was once hardened by hate is now tender and protective, all because of love. As the years pass, France is once again in political upheaval. Young revolutionaries rise up against the monarchy, dreaming of freedom and justice for the poor. Among them is Marius Pontmercy, a passionate student who also happens to fall in love with Cosette. Their romance blossoms, but Valjean fears losing Cosette, the daughter he has devoted his life to. At the same time, Javert is still in pursuit, and the streets of Paris grow more dangerous by the day. The story reaches its climax during the June Rebellion of 1832, when revolutionaries build barricades in the streets of Paris. Marius joins the fight, and Valjean, though fearful for Cosette's future, goes to protect him. Here we see Hugo's vivid descriptions of courage, sacrifice, and despair. The barricades become a symbol of youthful idealism clashing with brutal reality. Many of the young rebels die, but Valjean's only thought is to keep Cosette's beloved safe. Even here, he encounters Javert and makes a surprising choice. During the chaos, Valjean captures Javert, who had been spying on the rebels. Everyone expects him to kill the inspector. Instead, Valjean shows mercy, setting Javert free. For a man who once lived by vengeance and bitterness, this act shows how completely he has changed. But for Javert, mercy is unbearable. His entire life has been built on the strict idea that the law is absolute and criminals never change. Valjean's kindness shatters his worldview. Unable to reconcile this conflict, Javert takes his own life. It is one of the most tragic moments in the novel. After the barricades fall, Marius is badly wounded, but Valjean carries him to safety, saving his life. Eventually, Marius and Cosette marry. Valjean, however, begins to withdraw, believing that his past as a convict makes him unworthy to remain in their lives. He tells Marius the truth about who he is, and this honesty causes tension. For a while, Valjean lives in isolation, his health declining, until Marius learns the full extent of Valjean's sacrifices. In the final moments of the story, Marius and Cosette rush to Valjean's side. They find him weak and fading, but at peace. Surrounded by love, he passes away, finally redeemed, his soul at rest. Victor Hugo closes the novel with a powerful reminder. Even in the midst of misery, kindness and compassion can transform the world. The Miserable Ones is not just a story of one man's redemption. It is a call to empathy, to justice, and to love. If you enjoyed this recap of The Miserable Ones, don't forget to like and subscribe. And hit the bell for more classic books recaps. Let us know which story you'd like next in the comments.